Oh, good afternoon. Well, today I thought of a salve, not a salve. I don't think you'd quite call it a salve. Maybe a balm or an ointment, but I thought of doing this. This is not a recipe that I found in any book, but it's something I want to try. Yesterday, I went and picked some comfrey, and I put it in my dehydrator, and then I powdered up. I've got about 2 tablespoons of powder, a little less, in the bottom of this. And since this is a recipe, I don't have to follow any particular thing. But I did write down something that I want to go by. And then I am going to put 1/4 cup of my apricot kernel oil, and I'm using that because it has revitalizing powers to it and nourishing, so I'm going to do that, and I want to. And then I'm going to put in my 2 tablespoons of cocoa butter, not cocoa butter, and I have it melted, and I put a tablespoon and a teaspoon, so a tablespoon and 1/3 of my beeswax, because I thought I like the consistency of what the body butter that I made the other day, but I thought if it could just be a little bit firmer, I would be glad for that. And then, and what I'm making and inventing for myself is I'm going to rub it on my knees and any other place that's sore. So I want to tell you, well, first of all, I'm going to go back. When we lived in Idaho, we lived in 4 different areas. We lived in the hill country, the flatland, the plateau, and the Palouse Prairie. That's the coldest area up there. That's equal to Minnesota weather, winters. But down below is what they call the banana belt. So anyway, when we lived in the hill country, I was in my early 30s, so I don't even know if you can count an injury that long ago playing into any of my knee problem today. But I'm going to tell you about it anyway because it was such a fun day. It was worth it. And there were lots of hot springs in this area. And in one of the hot springs, they had made a resort area, had this large swimming pool. And the water sprayed up. It had to spray into the air to cool it down to go into the swimming pool, or else it would be too hot. And as it was this delightful warm water. Not too warm, but it wasn't cold. It was just really nice. And we were there one day because some friends of ours lived there. Actually, they owned it. I think they owned it. And it was winter time. And it was snowing, and there was snow on the ground, and we took our sleds, and we sled downhill, and just had so much fun. And when we got too cold, we'd go jump in the swimming pool, and we did this for quite a while. We ate together. It was just a fun day. Well, near the end of it, I was going downhill very quickly, and there was 2 of us on the sled, and we had this accident. And I don't know if it was because I put out my foot first or just what happened, but anyway, it bent my knee the wrong way or backwards or something. But at the time, and when it was all over and we picked ourselves up, the person said, "Are you hurt?" And I said, "No." And then we went and got in the swimming pool, we swam, and pretty soon we went home. And at home, I can remember I fixed dinner, we got all ready for bed, and all of a sudden, my knee was excruciating. And I went to the doctor's the next day, and all I can remember, because it's 50 years ago, that I had to stay up off of it for so many days. I don't know, which was really a chore. So with that, and then in my 70s, tearing my meniscus, maybe that's what's wrong with my knee. I don't know. And both times I was out, what I did with the knee thing, the meniscus, the goats had all gotten the milk room and they had started getting the lid off of their grain, and there were a lot of them in there, and I had to push them out, and I began to push them out with my knee and shove them out, and that's what I think did it in. So that's why I'm making this today. I'm sort of excited about it. But the other thing in Idaho, we had friends that worked with horses, and they swore by this certain horse liniment, which we could buy, I forget, at the farm store, and it worked wonders. And I can remember using it. And so I'm sort of going to try to make a liniment like that, and I don't know if it's not quite a liniment, but anyway, this is what I'm doing. I've got my comfrey powder in the bottom, and then that's not cooling off too fast. I'm going to put some essential oils in. I'm going to put in wintergreen because it has properties like aspirin. And in fact, if you're allergic to aspirin, you shouldn't use wintergreen. So I'm going to put the wintergreen in there. And wintergreen, oh yes, has a wonderful smell. Then I'm going to put in camphor, and I'm going to read you just a little bit what camphor is good for. Okay, where did I see that? Okay, maybe I'm not on the camphor page. Yes, I am. Okay. Okay, for rheumatism of the joints, muscular stiffness, sciatica, lumbago, so camphor is good for that. So I'm going to put in that. I'm going to put in eucalyptus. Wait just a minute, I put little markers here. And but that isn't the right marker. But I'll go for it. Okay. Must be here. Okay. Eucalyptus is muscular aches and pains, poor circulation, rheumatoid arthritis, sprains, etc. So that's going in. Oh, and then last of all, I'm going to put in peppermint. And the peppermint does, it's for neuralgia, muscular pain, so that will go for pain. So that's what I'm putting in my salve. So over here I have my melted beeswax, I have my apricot oil, coconut butter. I've melted it down, and I'm going to pour it on top of my comfrey powder. Now I know probably what I should have done is soak the comfrey in an oil, but I just thought of this, and I think it might work anyway. And it's always easier to work, especially in oils, with comfrey, because comfrey is so full of moisture. In fact, I thought it was dry, and when I went to grind it, it wasn't as dry as I thought. So anyway, that's in there. Now I'm going to put and I was just going to pour it in my container here because I found out the other day this amount will fit in here, but I'm afraid with a comfrey it's not going to do it. Okay, now 1/4 cup of my oil here. Okay. in the background my dinner is cooking. Smells good. Okay, and I'm going to stir that around. Okay, I'm going to go for 3 drops of each, or 4 drops, really what I'd like of 4, but I always have a tendency to go more than I think. Okay, I think I got 4. And possibly I could have used more, but I'm starting out with this. Okay. Hey, I think I got 4. 4. Oh, look, I think I got 5 of that. That was eucalyptus. But that would be a nice one to get a little more of. Okay, and it's already beginning to cool down. I'm going to pour it into my little jar. It's sort of a greenish dark color. I think I could have just started the whole thing in this jar, but I wasn't sure and I didn't want to have a mess. Oh yeah, no problem. I could have done it. And I don't know how the comfrey is going to work, you know, because it's going to give it some sort of a texture-y feeling as I put it on. Oh, but okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to put in what? I'm going to put in, I think, more peppermint, just because I want it to smell pepperminty. Okay. And it might be that it's the wintergreen that I want to put more in. I'm going to try a little more wintergreen. I'm trying to get the same smell that I used to smell in that horse liniment. And this is the one that's like has aspirin properties anymore in it. And I think with that I'm going to quit playing around and start using it and see what happens. And I'll let you know. Well, I'm not sure. I think I'll have to wait until it's cool to find out and start using it. It might have been that I got too much wintergreen in it. So, there you have it, my knee salve, and we'll see if it works. I've been doing some outside work, and I notice every night I can feel my knee. It hasn't been as bad as it was at times, but still, I'm going to try this. So I'll let you know if I made anything. So have a good afternoon. Have a nice lunch. We've got short ribs cooking and summer vegetables.